Welcome back to a brand new Clash Royale video, guys. My name is Patrick, aka Chief Pat, and today we're going to be hopping into the next episode of my...
This site's a pretty interesting site. What's special about it is that it's a lot harder for the CTs to retake it than on, say, A site, which is one of the most retakeable sites in the map, or in the game, sorry. So you want to make sure that you hold B site down tight. So let's talk about some simple things that you can do. So if you have an op, you can, generally when you want to go into site, you want to come up heaven. I think it's a little faster. But if you have an op, you can come up to heaven, and if you're going for an early pick, you can drop down here and start pre-aiming here, and then as they cross, you can get them. As they cross the tree as sunroom, you can get them with your op, and then you want to fall back to site and get one of your teammates to smoke it off. So when you're smoking, a big mistake that people do is smoke right here in front of B main. Now, if you watched any other videos, you might be wondering, well, but I want to block off the entrances to the site, right? Well, it's a little different in this case because the entrance to B main is a lot harder to work on from the T's perspective than here at Checkers, because a lot of times T's will actually throw the smoke that you're throwing here. The T's are actually going to throw the smoke, so they can cross into Checkers, and then they can work B from here. So a lot easier because you can expose yourself to one angle at a time like this, and then you can have more players. Versus when you're working B main here, there's so many angles you're exposed to. It's a lot harder to work in. This angle is kind of awkward, and then you can just have both players peeking from here and here at the same time, so it's a bit easier to work. So you really don't want to be throwing that smoke too much. What you want to be throwing is at the beginning of the round. You want to come up to here, go on heaven here, line yourself up here, and then walk back into the wall. This is like the most important smoke you're ever going to throw, because this is going to make holding B a lot easier for you. You want to aim at this brick in the wall right here, aim in the center of it, hold out your smoke, and walk and throw. You want to make sure you're walking. And then it comes here and it perfectly blocks off this B main entrance right here. And you might be asking yourself, but when I'm on site, I can't even see the smoke. What does it do? Well, the thing is, it lets you cross into the Checkers area and into this area of B main here, and it gives you so many more angles to hold B site from. So if you ever want to get into Checkers, it's a lot harder because when you're dropping down from heaven, sometimes they can see you, but with this smoke, you can play anything you want. So you can play box here, you can play back here. An interesting, really cool place you can play is right here. So as they're trying to work in, because this spot right here is really hard for terrorists to work, because that's why they want to throw the smoke here. Because if they're trying to peek angles, they're gonna peek here, they're gonna peek here. And as they're peeking onto site, they have to be worried, because there could be a guy in Checkers that could pop out. Okay, I should probably use an AK. There could be a guy in Checkers here, pop out and kill them. That's why they want to throw the smoke, so they don't have to worry about sight, and they can just deal with this guy Checkers here. So it's a really big nuisance for the T's if you can get into a position like this. Next, the cool place, while they're peeking onto site, you could play a spot right here, and then as they're pushing up and you can hear them, you can peek out like this and get a kill or two. And then if you need to reload, you can fall back, although you're pretty much screwed. But your teammate on site can help you. So it just opens up, if you smoke here, it opens up a lot of different opportunities for you to kill them. You can also play snacks right here. So kind of a difficult angle to play, but it works sometimes. And then if you're playing op, you could play ignore that thing in the chat there. If you're playing op, you can hold this angle, get one, and jump across to this angle and kill one too. Although you can just drop down, you don't just smoke that off for that. Well, that smoke is still really useful because it generally it'll discourage the T's from even trying to push into here, because it's just such a big waste, because when you're running through this smoke, you're not even getting onto sight. You're just running into death, and even if it's successful, well, you still don't have sight yet. It's not like running through other smokes. So yeah, that's why that smoke is so important. So if we talk about sight here, default is probably like one of the default places you want to be playing, because it's so nice to play, because you can dance back and forth between these boxes here. You can peek, keep on repeaking them, and then it's really easy to just hold this ankle right here. As they cross, you just kill one and then fall back, and then you can peek checkers like this. You can also play behind the back of sight here, and then you can just peek checkers, and as they're rushing onto sight, you can grab a frag, fall back. And then if you're playing any of those positions, flash you can do is just, oops, I don't have jump throw bind for this on Kevin's account. You can just jump and throw like that to flash, and it'll flash any oncoming T's, although his flash is kind of slow. But usually if they're rushing, they might not look away. Since this flash is so long, if they start looking away too early, you can peek like this and kill them, because I'll show you again. The flash doesn't hit you too much if you're looking down here, especially if you throw in that direction. Cool, well, not cool. Kind of dumb spot you can play is back here too, if you really wanted to. One of the strongest spots to play though, right here on headshot. Make sure though, when you're playing headshot, that you're not just standing still like this, and then, because any good player, you might even call wall hacks, any good player that's trying to work, that's trying to peek these angles, will just pre-aim you like this, or, yeah, sorry, it's kind of laggy, we'll just pre-aim like this and kill you like that, and then you're dead. So what you want to do is you want to be moving either back and forth, and as someone peeks, stop and shoot, or you can wait like this, and then if you get the timing right, you can wait for them to cross, and then pop out like this and just kill one. Or you can just do this in general. You can pop them down. Although headshot, it's a really hard spot to play sometimes if they're pushing and you're not hitting your shots. If you decide to play Heaven, kind of sneaky spot. Some people like to play here, although it's kind of hard, because if they're pushing with multiple T's, you're gonna get overwhelmed, and then you can't fall back. You can only either drop or try to run away, but you're dead in most circumstances. Playing Heaven, don't play Heaven standing out like this. It exposes too much of your body. Play somewhere like back here, or don't crouch though, because it's harder for you to move. But if you can play somewhere like back here, and then it's a better head glitch position, so you can kill them. If you're wallbanging into checkers, you generally want to wallbang these white parts, so they do more damage. So if I wallbang like that, so as you can see, this white part shoots through here, and then this one shoots if someone's standing right here. The white parts do more damage than these metal parts. If you want to break vents, and it's the start of the round, you aim somewhere. Oh, sorry. You aim, I think it's around there. Yeah, you aim at the top left corner of this box, right, of this garage panel thing here, right? And then pops vents for you quick. It pops vents early in the round, so the T's really won't know if you're boosting the vents. Okay, so now let's talk about boosting into vents. So if you're boosting into vents, and you've already decided that round, you want to first do that pop right there, because it's really fast. And the T's will be, because like if you pop vents after you've walked all the way over here, and then you pop vents, the T's will be really suspicious. But if you pop it like right away, the T's will be like, okay, they might be vents, they might not be vents. They popped it from all the way back there. I don't know, right? So if you want to boost, you generally want to throw that smoke from Heaven, so it lands right here or around there, blocks it off. Then your teammate can silently, make sure you're silent, boost up into vents, and then hold from there. And then watch, you can help mid from there. Some off angles you can do. Any of these boxes on Oh, sorry, I'm lagging. Can't do these jumps. And if any of these boxes are, oops, any of these jumping at any of these boxes are interesting off angles. If you have a teammate, this is for team side, but if you have a teammate and you've taken sight, you can actually, NA smoke. There we go. That was a flash. You can actually smoke heaven like that. Get a teammate to stand on here, and you can actually run boost across. Next, so let's talk about this from the T side perspective. So I said some things about the T side perspective. So if you're trying to work B, generally this spot only has room for about one person if you're trying to work it. Because if you have multiple people here, it's really easy for them to just come and spray you down. It's hard to work with multiple people. So 1 or 2 people max is how much you should be working B with at first. And then, so it's kind of risky here. If you know you've had a good spawn and you ran all the way up to B, you can generally tell. And if you have an op, you can come for the quick pick and get someone trying to cross in the checkers. But if you peeked it and you know they're not. Generally, if you have a good spawn, I think the T's will get here first. So then you can actually see if anyone's gotten the checkers. If you know no one's gone in the checkers, you can work that normally. If there's a possibility that they're in checkers, someone can throw a smoke like this, and then it's easier to work like this, just in case there's anyone in checkers or something. Yeah, when you're coming from checkers, it's also a lot easier because you don't have to worry about heaven too much unless they peek out really far. Then your guys' B main should be able to get them. So it's a lot easier. You can just actually just run out like this if you've already checked these angles. And then so always when you're pushing B, or basically always, you want to get one player, smoke like that, smoke off tree room. Because tree room is a really, really, really annoying spot. It's really easy for Opera to get free kills from there, and then just fall back instantly. Okay, well if you want to smoke heaven, you're gonna have to figure it out. Well, you can always just peek if no one's there, just call your smoke it and just smoke it, or volley it. It's pretty straightforward. One thing I see a lot in post-plant 1v1s, which and if you're stuck in a post-plant 1v1, and there's a CT retaking you, make sure you can use these boxes really effectively. You can hide behind these boxes and play around the boxes to really trick the CT out. Because especially at these low ranks that we're playing at, if the bomb's planted here, the CT is coming from headshot. It's so easy to just come around. Hide like this. The CT has no idea where you are. He's so confused right now because he's probably silver. And you can just come around like this, and as you hear him defuse, pop out like and kill him like this. But that's if it's planted default. Okay, so let's talk about some plant spots. Okay, so when you're planting and onto B, the default spot you should be planting. If we call plant for B main, or in general, you want to plant it right here. Because if you plant it for B main like this, if the CTs want to defuse, if they want to defuse, they have to be looking at the ground. Because if they're like this, they have to look at the ground like this. And then if they want to defuse from this side, they have to be staring this way. If they're on top of the bomb, they can't look at B main. They can't be looking at you. So then if they want to defuse, they either have to fake and look back. They can't just defuse, and then while they're defusing, they suddenly while they're defusing, they can just stop defusing and shoot you. They can't do that because they don't know. If we have like complete control of everything, sometimes we might call for a plant for checkers. Just plant it wide in the open right here. If you know that all the rest of the CTs are in A, you can do like a kind of cheeky plant right here behind this post right here, or sign right there. Like behind there, so then when the CTs are coming up, they can't see the bomb, and then if you can stall enough time and they come up, and they run around, they won't be able to find the mob, and they're like, whoa, where is it? And then it'll be planted right there. I forgot to talk about the spots, Ninja. Please don't sit here at least too much, because you'll die guaranteed. Okay, anyways. If you want to do something fancy, I would show you if I wasn't lagging. Let me try this. If you want to try something fancy, you can actually peek into Sunroom. Okay, yeah. I hate them. Okay, I'm lagging too much because of this resolution. And OBS. Okay, seriously. No. You can actually check if anyone's in Sunroom by coming and if you actually could jump and you weren't lagging, you could jump and peek into Sunroom, and then if you shoot, you might get lucky. But even if you're not lucky, that's a good way to scout for information to see if they're in Sunroom or not. Now let's say the CTs have smoke right here, and so you really don't want to push through it, alright? But what you want to do, okay, once the smoke is cleared, you can throw a flash at around this area right here, and it'll pop and blind the CT, any CT that's holding from checkers. But generally when we're rushing, we're just gonna throw some sort of flash like this. Oops, my bad. Bad flash. Oh, never mind. That was okay. Or we're just gonna throw some sort of flash like this. We're gonna go. I'm flashing. Okay. When we call flashing, I'm gonna be throwing a flash like this. I'm gonna be sitting right here throwing a flash like this. Or okay, not that bad though. I'm gonna be like calling if there's like a smoke here. If there's like a smoke here or something, and I call it we're rushing. Okay, I'm gonna be throwing a flash like that. I'm gonna be ready like that. Okay, you guys have to get ready so that after you guys have to run past the flash. Okay, today what happened? Andrew, I'm flashing. I flashed. He just stared at the flash, and then he just stood there. Okay, no, what you want to do? If I call him flashing and I hold my flash like this, I flash like that. You need to run past it so that the flash is behind you. Because it's a loss. It's like the CTs are either gonna look away, which buys you time to go and shoot them, or it flashes behind you and it flashes them. So whenever we call flashing, it's good. It might be in front of you at first, but you gotta run past it. So if you're sitting box, this is one of our last points. If you're sitting box and you're hiding like this, and you hear the T's coming, just tell your teammate on site to flash B main. And then they can bounce a flash like this. It'll pop here, and then you can just do a quick peek and peek out and kill anyone that's there. Has had a whole B site, boys. We're on the gear, boys.